Guys, welcome to my second video, second week of my M1 Finance Dividend Investment Strategy um, video series. So the first thing that you'll probably notice from last week's video is the bond slice here. I added bonds to decrease my risk, but we'll go into that towards the end of the video. We'll see what kind of bonds I picked and my thought behind picking those. But from last week, there isn't much changes in the overall portfolio in terms of gains. Each week, I have an auto deposit on for $200, which I'm probably going to increase in the near future. But every Thursday, it automatically adds $200 to my portfolio. And so the REITs, let's get started with the REITs first. So the REITs, I did a couple of changes here. I believe there were two more stocks that I had, or two more REIT stocks that I had in this slice. But since then, I reduced it a little bit. I believe I had two mall REITs, and I don't know if you guys know, but malls are kind of declining, at least in my opinion. More things are shifting online. Obviously, malls are gonna be around for the long term, but I don't think they're gonna be as popular as they once were. So that's why I only have this one mall REIT, Simon Property Group, which hasn't been doing that great, but they do have a decent dividend yield. So I'm hoping that with the dollar cost averaging of this stock decreasing, one day they'll be on the upswing, and I'll start getting a gain from Simon. But yeah, I shifted some percentages around. I believe this was like 23, this was like 13, this was 8. So I just like even them out, but with removing some of the REIT stocks that I had in here before. If you want to see which REIT stocks I actually removed, just check last week's video, and you'll be able to see it. I don't think this this REIT slice is fully done yet. I think I still have some more work to do. I'm not too happy with the percentages. I really like Realty Income and LTC Properties and Equinix, but I'm not too keen on these four. So going forward, I'm going to try and do some more research and see what I want to do with these four, and maybe allocate different percentages down the line. But so far, I have a $36 gain on the overall performance. In the last month, it's been $17. It's on an upswing. I mean, recently, as you can see within the last week, these are down a little bit, but on the overall, which pretty much matters the most since we're doing a long-term investment strategy, they seem to be doing good so far. But we'll check back next week. I'm sure I'll change some of these percentages around, or maybe remove a few. We'll see. If you guys have any suggestions, leave a comment down below on any REIT stocks that you guys like or are looking into. I definitely appreciate that. The dividends, I added People's United Financial. They're a pretty good bank. I know I have 3 banks in here now, but I think banks are pretty good dividend stocks, and 2 out of the 3, which I wouldn't really count this one yet because it's only been in here for a week. And these all have been in here for a couple months now. So I definitely wouldn't look at the gain for People's United, but my bank stocks have been doing good so far. Bank of America, I have a pretty decent gain on for the amount of money I have in the stock. So, but yeah, so that's pretty much all I added here. I fiddled with some percentages to obviously add in the People's United. But again, if you're very curious on what the percentages were before or what I changed, just compare from last week's video. Probably going forward, I'll think of a way to incorporate, to like add a picture-in-picture maybe of last week's video for, whatever slice I'm in, so that you could see the new percentages, because I've been changing them recently. But eventually I don't think I'm going to be changing them as much as I do. I'm just trying to find what I like best and find like a happy medium between all the stocks that I have in each slice. But for the overall performance, the dividend gain is 77. I guess I'll go to the week since I'm doing a video a week, so you could see how it's been doing since last week. Yeah, so it's down $12. I got a dividend of, well, it's down 14 actually, but I got a dividend of $3. So I'm not too concerned. Amgen has been, it's my biggest share here, so it's been down. But yeah, not too concerned with the dividends. You're not always gonna have a great week, but overall I'm up $77. So can't be much better than that. Well, it can, but you know what I mean. So with the growth slice, this one I changed as well. Overall, as you could see, a lot of these gains are pretty high, but if you look at my overall gain here, it's only $6.87. That's because I sold Tesla. In the last video, I had Tesla stock that I just bought a little bit of it at one point. I think it was just 5% of the overall slice. And it's just been tanking since. I tried to go a little risky with the Uber and Tesla stock. I know they're very high risk and, they're probably going to go down, but I figured, this is the growth slice. Might as well take a little bit of risk in this slice. It's also, at the time, it was also my least, funded slice by far, compared to these two. Obviously, now the bonds one is my least. But, yeah, so I also reduced Amazon. This was at 40%. And I reduced it all the way down to 15 because, like I said in the last video, this growth slice, I'm really trying to focus on dividend-only stocks. I want this whole portfolio to be, if I could help it, mainly all dividend stocks. And within the growth slice, I want them to mainly be growth stocks that also give dividends, which I'm not expecting huge gains here, but I thought it would be cool to have a slice that was a little more risky than the other two. Obviously, REITs are pretty risky. Dividends are, the least risky out of the three stock slices that I have, but I just wanted pretty much a little fun slice here that I could buy upcoming mature companies that give dividends but are also growing at the same time. But Amazon, I think it's still going to go up, so I don't want to lose what I have here. And who knows, in the near future they could be giving dividends, but so far the only two non-dividend stocks that I have in this slice are Amazon and PayPal and Uber, but I don't really count Uber. This is kind of like a throwaway slice for me. I'm just throwing it in, seeing what happens. It's just pretty much a gamble here. But all the other ones are dividends, and in the future I expect to only add dividend stocks here. But yeah, we'll go more into depth with my theory and what my objective for this slice is in future videos. But yeah, those are the changes that I made this week. So on the week, we're up $10.22, which is pretty good. No dividends this week, but only a 1.37% return. But yeah, so we'll closely monitor the dividend. It kind of got screwed by that Tesla stock that I bought on a whim, which I'm never going to do again. But that's pretty much where we're at with growth. So with the bonds, this is pretty much to reduce risk. All these give payments in the form of dividends, and I tried to find the bonds that had the biggest gain within the year, but also not always the biggest gain, but that were safe and that had low expense ratios as well. So right now it's a very small slice. There's only $200 in. Pretty much everything that I deposited this week, the $200, went straight to this bonds slice. But it's down 61 cents, which is not a big deal. It's been in here for less than a week now. But yeah, I plan to just keep this. I saw this one chart that showed that if you have bonds in your portfolio and the market tanks, you lose, your risk goes way down, and pretty much your portfolio recovers a lot quicker than it would if you just had stocks. I'll try and find the chart for you for the next video next week, but if you want, you could probably just Google it and find something similar to the thing that I saw. But yeah, I don't really want to go too much in depth into these bonds. They're pretty boring, pretty standard. They're, as you can see, they're pretty much all Vanguard. But yeah, they all give payments in form of dividends, and they're pretty high. So we'll see how this goes. We'll see how the strategy goes. Pretty much that's all I have for this week. In the future, I want to also incorporate stock news into my videos and maybe make them a little longer, and also go into depth of some stocks that I'm looking at to add to this portfolio. And I also have a Robinhood portfolio as well, which mainly focuses more on just growth in general. It's more of like my risky stocks that, like maybe cannabis stocks and all that stuff that's on there. So in the future, if you guys want to see a video dedicated to my Robinhood portfolio and me go through that, leave a comment, let me know. But for now, I guess I'll see you guys next week. Hope you guys enjoyed. And yeah, see you guys. Peace.